Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday evening to you. It's Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wentz. Lots to cover here on this Sunday evening edition of Region Weather Live. We've got a big storm system this week. That's really going to take the center part of our forecast here. And again, that's going to be Tuesday into Wednesday. And then we'll feel the effects on Thursday as well. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about how that system is going to impact us this week. And as always on our Sunday evenings, we'll look ahead to the future. And I'm not talking just 5 days. We're going out the next 10 to 14 days to look for any problems that we see out there. There's always problems as we enter the month of December, aren't there? Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of you getting back from destinations. We'll run our intro video, and as always, at the end of this, we'll answer your questions here on this Sunday evening edition of Region Weather Live. Oh, sorry, I get into that intro video. Hi, guys. How are you? I hope everyone's doing well. Deshaun, hello. Jeff, hi. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Caitlin, hey, we're back. Guys, thank you so much. So many of you sent private messages just saying that you're hoping that we got better and that our family was doing well. I really appreciate that. That means so much. I try to respond to each and every one of you. If you don't know, we had COVID in our family for the first time in 2.5 years. It happened about a week and a half ago now. I got it first, and then my son got it, and then my wife got it, and I was still kind of recovering from it. So that was rough with the kids. And then our other son got it. My daughter hasn't gotten it yet, but I think she's fine. She might have had it in school maybe a year ago, and we didn't know. But anyway, we're all doing better. We've lost our sense of smell, which is interesting. I don't know how many of you have had it. You know, nothing you have to share, obviously, but I'm going to be totally transparent with this. It was interesting because, you know, the little Vicks vapor rubs or the little vapor things. She brought it to me. She's like, smell this. And I'm like, oh, it must be a Vicks that doesn't smell. And we both realized, we're like, wait a second, let's grab a candle. And so we grabbed a candle and we couldn't smell it, which just totally stinks. So hopefully that comes back. I don't know if any of you have had it and you've lost your sense of smell. I know that's a common thing. I just want to know when it comes back. That's all, because it's kind of weird. It's very strange. And I'm wondering if sense of taste is different because of that. But anyway, feeling great. I'm allowed to go back to work. I worked from home this week. We did our broadcasts from our dining room. So the kids were in all the TV broadcasts this week. Which people really like because that's what we actually did during COVID in the backyard. So people got to know our kids. But anyway, everything's back to normal tomorrow, which is great. And again, I feel fine. So I appreciate those messages. It was about 3 days of awful. And then it was like a kind of a slow recovery after that. But you know what? Completely fine now. Completely. So that's great. So I hope you guys are doing well. I know we're coming off Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of people traveling today. We had this system that brought the rain through. We had a little bit of wind. It's colder outside now. We're on the backside of this. But this system's out of here. All right. We're going to talk towards that midweek system. As always, where I want to start is by thanking our sponsors. They keep the show for free. We just have the most supportive group of Northwest Indianians, if that's a word. Not just through you, but our sponsors as well. I can't thank them enough. So just do me a favor, right? I could give you the spiel, which they don't even ask me to do, but I do it because I want you to support them. Please support our local businesses, okay? Tiger Plumbing is one of them, tigerplumbing.net. They are wonderful plumbers. Like, we don't pair up with anyone that's sketch or awful or has bad ratings, right? They're all local. They're all 5-star companies. Tiger Plumbing is fantastic. It's tigerplumbing.net. They come out for free. They analyze your stuff. They give me a tip of the week, which is awesome, which I take hold of as well. And I'm actually looking at it. Have you guys shut off your outside water valve yet? If you have hoses outside, you want to shut off that water valve in the winter so you don't freeze your pipes up. And when you do that, so let's say you have a hose spigot outside, there's a little shut-off valve on the pipe that goes out to it. So shut that off, and then you want to go outside and drain the hose again so there's no water inside of that, right? And a lot of you take your hoses in, stuff like that. But I thought that was a great tip. That's from Tiger Plumbing. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, awesome family-owned business. You guys all know them. They're super popular. They do so much work in Northwest Indiana. If you need a new Jeep or you're considering any anything like a Jeep or anything close to that. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, they have everything, right? Please support them because they support the community and us as well. And then our last one, I really want you to get to know them. It's Discovery Travel. They've been in business 10 years in Northwest Indiana. If you're planning a trip, which a lot of us are now, and obviously we plan ahead for those, whether it be Disney or a cruise or even overseas, let them do the work. They'll find you the cheapest prices. So many of you have said, I love them. I've actually used them. But they'll do everything that you want for the trip, or they'll do just as little as you want for the trip. But it's Discovery TRVL on Facebook. It's facebook.com.discovery.trvl, and it's discovery.trvl.com. All right, real easy. Okay. And family owned business, again, just reach out to them if you're planning a trip, and you'll make sure you have the lowest fares with that. I hate trying to price compare Expedia, all that stuff. It's just so much work, and you've got 8 appreciate it. That's wonderful. Oh, we're back. I don't know if I didn't. Here's what I want to start with, but that's not loading. So here we go. Okay, it is loading. All right. So big picture across the country. You notice this time of year, jet stream's way down here. Okay. And remember that jet stream goes north in the wintertime or in the summertime. So we don't have a lot of active weather. And then in the fall and in the spring, it comes south through us. That's why we get the big spin up storms. And now it's further down to the south. So you see where all the action is. It's right over the lower 48, but we get these big spin up areas of low pressure. There's one out in the Atlantic right now, another one out in the Western Atlantic. This one that just went by, there's a lot of swirls, right? You notice the overall pattern, though, in the Northwest is coming out of the Northwest, all right? So that's where the cold air has been. We've been kind of on the warmer side of things as we keep getting these lows out of the Gulf of Mexico. So as a result, over the next 18 to 14 or 8 to 14 days, this is what the pattern looks like, where we're going to keep the cooler air out towards the western US in terms of below average. We're going to stay right around average. We're going to have some warm days. We're going to have some cold days, especially out ahead of that system this week. And then all the warmth is going to be down towards Florida, right? So we're kind of divided with that jet stream going right up through the country. So let's talk about this Wednesday system. This midweek system is going to be a wind maker. We're going to see a lot of strong wind from this. We're also going to see a big temperature bump up, and then we're going to see a big temperature bump down on the backside. And it's all going to happen in about 8 hours time. So this is going to be our first real front that we're like, wow, that's a cold front, right? We really haven't had any of those yet here as we've gone throughout fall. Now we're in late fall technically, right? So here's how it takes place. It's already in the western US. Notice all the snow they're having out there. They had quite a fall. They're having quite a late fall out there as well in terms of snow. It's great for all the skiers and all pretty much everyone out west. They need the rain, they need the snow. Here comes the low, though. This is Tuesday. So in terms of tomorrow, we're fine. We're going to have a mix of clouds and sun. Temperatures seasonable, should be in the upper 40s, mid to upper 40s tomorrow. So not bad. No concerns Monday. Tuesday, no concerns either. But we start to get in on this frontal boundary. So it's going to be really two low pressures. This is the one that's going to take over in Missouri. This is Tuesday afternoon. Notice we've developed a nice southwest wind. That southwest wind is going to warm us up, probably 60 on Tuesday. I'm calling it now. A lot of models saying mid to upper 50s, which is close enough, but I think we hit 60 degrees on Tuesday. And the reason why is we're going to have a flow right out of southern Texas, okay? Our air is coming from. We won't have rain attached to it yet. We'll have increasing clouds as we go throughout the day, but no rain during the day, and it'll become breezy and warm. As that low pressure continues to kind of develop a little bit further, there you go. This is now Tuesday night into Wednesday. The low is now developed, superior, and we now have a big storm system. This storm system stretches all the way from the Hudson Bay in Canada all the way down towards Arkansas. You can see the wind flow around it. Very, very well-developed storm system. So for us, what that means is we're going to have that warm air in here Tuesday. By Tuesday, late in the day, it'll finally start to connect with some Gulf of Mexico moisture. So we're talking rainfall chances increasing as we get into the afternoon and evening on Tuesday. Still windy outside, still warm outside. And eventually what happens is that cold front goes by, and it's going to be a very sharp front. It's probably going to pass, my guess would be maybe around midnight, Tuesday night going into Wednesday, maybe 2, 3, 4 a.m. Wednesday. Again, the timing is going to fluctuate just a little on that. That's when it's going to hit, though, which is probably good because most of us will be asleep. You'll wake up, it'll be different versus us going to work at 60 degrees and then it's 20 on the backside of that, right? So this is a sharp front. So we developed some rain around it. We'll likely have rain lingering into early Wednesday morning. And then that front hits, and you can see how we changed some of that rain over to snow. This is now Wednesday morning, getting into midday. We've got cold air, gusty northwest winds. Temperatures have crashed. Again, we're going to be near 60 Tuesday. We'll probably be in the mid 50s around midnight Tuesday night. And then the bottom's going to fall out, and we're probably going to stay in the low 30s. So that's a good 20, 25-degree temperature drop into Wednesday during the day. I don't think temperatures warm up much Wednesday. So very strong northwest wind. Wednesday is going to be kind of a raw day. We're back to the cold again. In terms of snowfall, I don't see much of it. I think with this low coming in, it's going to be kind of moisture starved with it pushing out. There's not a lot of moisture lingering behind it. So we could have some snowflakes around, maybe some lake effect flurries. I don't see it being a big event in terms of snowfall, though, but just much colder Wednesday. So warm Tuesday, cold Wednesday, cold Thursday. This cold is going to linger just for a day, but it's a pretty decent hit of cold. You can see this is now Thursday. The lakes are activated. It's not a huge lake effect event, but we could get a couple hours of some good lake snows off the lakes. Not for us, though. This high pressure settles in, dry air is moving in. Thursday's cold, but we'll be back to some sunshine. So there's that. But then, much like you'd expect in late November into December now, this is now December 1st on Thursday. Can't believe that. We warm up very quickly behind that. So watch what happens. The next system comes out of the plains next weekend. Very similar looking system. We develop a very strong southwest wind that will bump our temps back up. I've got us at, let's see, Thursday I have us around 32 for a high. Friday is our transition day. We're back into the 40s. And then Saturday, as of right now, I have us near 60 degrees again. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Again, I lean Euro. Some of the models not going quite as drastic, but that's where I would lean right now. And the reason why I would lean that is because look at this. We have a wind all the way down from Texas. We've got a very strong southwest wind, very, very warm air coming up. After we just cool down, we're warming up very quickly again. But here's this big system, another big system next weekend. And by big, I mean very strong area low pressure. We'll have some kind of frontal passage sometime Saturday. So Saturday, I think we start warm, and then we'll probably drop off pretty quickly during the afternoon. And you can see the cold air that comes in back behind that. Again, not much snow with that weekend system either. And I've looked at all the models. I've combed them over. I don't see a lot with that. What's interesting is you can see how the Euro kind of quiets us down for a little bit. And then back on Tuesday, the following week, this is December 6th, it brings in a pretty strong storm with some rain. It changes over to maybe some snow. That would be an accumulating snow. I want to show you the differences, though. That's just one model. We're not going to pay attention to that because GFS is much different with that storm system. They actually bring this more kind of a flatline storm system in here around December 6th that brings some snow in here, maybe a little bit of ice. So again, that kind of differs. And I just want to show you, this is all fantasy land, right? But this is the GFS long range. So this is December 6th and 7th. We chill down, we get cold around here, but then there's this little bumps right here, right there. We warm up a little bit. That's December 11th. Okay, again, fantasy land. But look at this. The GFS brings in this big old dump of cold air. That would be highs in the teens for us, which isn't unheard of in December, right? That would be around December 12th or 13th. No huge snows in the forecast, but overall, as we get into December, it does look like we turn below average, okay? So that's kind of what we're looking at. All right, so that's all I've got for you. I hope that's pretty straightforward. Again, the Wednesday system this week, we're going to see a bump in temps on Tuesday. So Tuesday's the warm side. Rain will collect later in the day into the evening. Most of the morning will be dry. It's afternoon where we'll start to collect that rain as it attaches to the front. Tuesday warm, Wednesday much colder, windy, blustery, just a nasty wind coming out of the northwest Wednesday. Thursday's a pleasant day, but it's cold. And then Friday and Saturday, we do it all over again. We warm right back up Saturday out ahead of the next system, and we turn colder next weekend. Again, no big snows in the forecast this week, though. I think that's the important thing. All right, so go ahead and answer or ask your questions. I'd be happy to answer those for you, and we'll get you on your way here on this Sunday night. Again, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. It's always so nice to just kind of unwind for a weekend. I love holiday weekends because it's kind of like a reset for everyone. I know Monday tends to come out a little bit on the rougher side for those of you that had off, the last 3 or 4 days. So there's that. But tomorrow's going to be a great day. You just have to tell yourself that now. Okay. All right, Justin, thank you, buddy. Diane, hello. Okay, Caitlin had COVID last November and said she's finally starting to smell and taste normally. I appreciate that. Okay, hopefully, the next year we'll get it back. I've heard it takes up to 2 years, so that's interesting. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Mary. Chris, it was a wonderful holiday. I appreciate that. Michelle, thank you so much. Unnecessary, but I really appreciate that. Thank you, Michelle. Let's see. Deshaun says, is the Saturday the 3rd or following? Audio and feed is cutting in and out. That's great. I got to get my my internet pod down here. I don't know where I moved it to. It's somewhere in the house. So it looks like we have a pretty stable stream right now. But yeah, sometimes it cuts in and out. Chris, yeah, it's time to winterize the bull, buddy. For sure. Dave, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I think that's it. I don't see any other questions coming in. Again, like to keep it as short and sweet as possible for the next 14 days worth of forecasting. But the big thing this week is going to be that Wednesday system. There's going to be some wind with it. We're going to have gusts probably 35, 40 with this one, by the way. I forgot to cover that, but definitely some strong winds with that this week. And again, that would be Tuesday night and then Wednesday behind the system that we'd see the strong winds. And then more winds next weekend. It's the season of the wind around here, okay? All right, guys, take it easy. Have a wonderful evening. Have a good start to the week. We'll be with you all this week as usual. We're back on our radio broadcasts as well. We'll join you with our midweek Region Weather Live, and we'll go from there. We'll keep on chugging, okay? All right, have a good night, everybody.